Hi everyone, we've got Rebecca here who is a successful real estate agent and started up as an employee in the Brisbane property market, selling real estate to buyers, investors, and made the leap of faith of becoming a principal of her and an owner of NGU in Logan, which is a council area in the Brisbane market. She's helped thousands of people buy and sell their own homes and investment properties. Beck, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know, you've had such a growth in terms of real estate over the years. I remember interviewing you on a Facebook Live going back 5 years ago. You know, probably in the early days of you starting out in real estate. So it's great to get you on and see your journey and what has been created over the last 5 years now. Especially since I had you on a video with other real estate agents around the country all those years back. And the growth in property has been dramatic in that time as well, especially in Brisbane. Beck, first of all, can you share a pivotal moment in business or a challenge that's reshaped you and your approach to real estate and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, well, two parts, I guess. The pivotal probably change in my business was when I sort of locked in on really good team structures, very clear direction in dollar productive tasks, things that are better suited for myself and those that are in the team at that point in time. Like those have always shifted ever so slightly. I think you can never have set roles completely. And when I slowly realized that, and it's better to, I guess, hire appropriately if you can get someone that fits 80% of the bill, but their strength is something that you can leverage and work around as well, and then have really clear lanes off the back of that. That's probably been the biggest shift in my business as soon as we got the team structure down pat. And it's something that we consistently change and evolve now. And I guess that leads into the second part. It changed massively when we stepped away from being, I guess, just an individual solo agent running a EBU to now running a business. That team dynamic, my role especially, and responsibilities has changed immensely, and that sort of came all at a sudden, probably coming up to 12 months now. So yeah, not too much has necessarily changed, but I guess the growth of the business and how quickly we had to sort of adapt, that was definitely a big sort of learning curve.
Yeah, and I'm seeing through the numbers that you're generating in terms of sales, but also on the added level of actually running a team now. Like, how is that figuring out all that at
When you
the
get the
very
time.
young age that you are, you know, and I'm sure all the challenges that you're faced with as well around that.
I think it's come actually quite easy. I had a fairly big team before we stepped away from my previous business to now, and we've just scaled it gradually. But honestly, once I sort of started to realize I can't be selfish anymore and being like, well, that's mine, they're there to benefit me and support me, and instead look at it from a leadership perspective of, well, how can I help them do more? How can I help them grow? What are their goals? It's just continued to flow and grow from there. So having that, I guess, short-term pain of maybe I'm personally handing away more, but for the long-term growth of the business, it's obviously done extremely well. So I enjoy running the team, and I honestly don't see it as running them really. I'm just there alongside them, and as long as I can lead by example and continue with my numbers, my energy, and everything like that, they'll continue to grow from there as well.
Yeah, a great person just said to me just today about influence, and it sounds like you are doing the same of influencing your team to grow for themselves individually, and that's leadership. That's qualities of leadership that people kind of forget when they're running their business. It's not all about me. It's about how I can bring everyone up. The more you can influence, the better that they potentially will become, and the less you might need to do as well.
Hopefully one day. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Beck, what do you look for in a business partner before committing? You know, thinking about like there's obviously I've gone through it. You've probably gone through it a few times yourself. Like, what are you looking for? Like, you joined the NGU team. What were you looking for maybe at the start of that process?
Yeah, I guess when I looked at making this switch to become a business owner and especially partnering with a franchise, I wanted similar values. And a lot of people probably say that, but for me, I'm pretty down to earth. I am a no BS sort of. I just don't have time for it. I don't have energy for it. And I wanted a company or a business partner that I guess complemented my strengths, but also really, really pushed and prodded on my weaknesses. And I think for NGU in particular and the support and leadership there, they just want us to do well, but it feels like it's coming from almost like a parent perspective where, they're loving, but it's like, hey, wake up, sort of, what can you do more? Like, how, I want to challenge you here. Like, we want better for you. So for me, it was, I really wanted that down to earth approach. And I continue that, whether it be, when we were looking at rebranding versus hiring and for new talent. That's sort of what I want to see in a future business partner as well, is just that consistency, energy, and values.
Yeah, look, I looked at the same thing for me when I was selling my properties, and you've been my sales agent many times now. That same sort of value that I saw in you, that you saw in with NGU and when you started. So this is why that I handed you, to do that work for me on my behalf to sell those properties, and time after time again, we've had some really good results around it, or you have at least, and I've benefited out of it. Well, we both have, right?
Both of
So,
us, yeah. Thank
the
you.
higher the price, the more commission. That's great. Everyone
Who's gonna
wins.
complain? Like, no one's gonna cry. But no, obviously
I
there's
know,
been
and it's been such a
time.
process as well. Like talking through those sales, like I
Mm,
know that initial offers are coming in and they're pretty low, and then we take
mm,
them to auction, and we know that it's a strong market, so we know we're going to probably generate higher levels,
mm.
and the results have been achieved. So again, like on this podcast, I like thank you for that work, but I
No, thank
chose you
you.
because of the values that you've said exactly from the people that you're working with at NGU, or why you decided with NGU. So it's great for me.
Thank you. Yeah, we had some challenging ones there, but they came to it. It came good. So, um, it's nothing. Not unlike you. Every property was like, it's another Luke special. So, but
But
we
we got there and we got
stick
some
to
really
that.
good results.
Yeah, stick to that plan. It came out good in
Yeah,
the end. So,
no, it works. It all works.
it
Beck,
does. It does.
moving back onto the business side of things, how do you identify emerging trends in real estate market and the broader business landscape? And how does AI factor into your strategy staying ahead of the game?
I guess we're so bedded into real estate. We're sort of looking at it every day, whether it be my core sort of marketplaces or Logan City in particular. Like it's quite, I guess, easy. It's easy for me to sort of follow the trends across Logan. But you then like just through my own network and communication of other agents, brokers, people within the industry and surrounds. That's probably where I do get a lot of I guess my emerging trends. A lot of the talk today and yesterday has been, I put up a post yesterday about how many failed contracts or false buyers that we've had recently, and that's all of a sudden now occurring apparently everywhere across Australia. So if that's a shift, who knows? It could be early signs of it. So a lot of it is through my own network, but
Mm.
consistent research and I guess just the environment I'm around, the business owners that we have here, they're so heavy on that. I don't necessarily have all the time in the world, but it's what they do bleed back to us as business owners to keep us informed. And I'm sure if anyone's to say that they leverage AI, it's Emil and Giselle, my CEOs. So they're very much all about that. They've been running some tests for us as agents, the support team, and how that can sort of be embedded back into our business for hopefully next year.
Mm.
I wouldn't say slack, but I'm slack to try and expand on the AI space at the moment. It's something that I really want to set more time towards being able to understand and grow with. It's something that I think is so underutilized. Not just ChatGTP that everyone talks about. It's like, well, what can we do to actually alleviate and provide more time and reduce problems within the business through AI. But there's just so many programs, it's pretty overwhelming at the moment. So it's definitely not my strong point.
Yeah, look, I guess it's about like it sounds like you're leveraging the team in that area right now, and it's just a case of going through the process on that. Yeah, definitely, there's advancements in AI. It's just whether they're going to actually support your business, because you
Exactly.
don't want to get something emerging in there that's not going to really support and take you more time and energy
Yeah,
up
time
than
and
you think
money.
needed.
Yeah.
So that's an important one for people really to understand with AI, and it's a big one that I'm working on as well within my business. Beck, in terms of what are three actionable items that you recommend listeners do over the next 90 days if they're in business, especially? We can look at investing, but especially in business.
Especially in business. I think, well, great time of year for it, but sit down and audit your systems. Personally, like what do you do each day? What do your staff do each day if you've got a team? And work out what's the most dollar productive, or I guess each duty, what is that worth in a dollar sense? And work backwards on, well, whose time is more valuable, and try and remove any of those bottlenecks that you're currently doing that potentially could be offloaded to somebody at a slightly lesser rate. So then you're actually able to spend more time on the business itself, and the more important or dollar productive tasks. That's one thing that we're constantly doing, probably every at least 90 days, re-auditing the business, and obviously growth that comes with that to ensure that we've got the right systems. Um, Second one would probably be introduce, I guess, one new lead. This is more real estate, I guess, related. Introduce one new lead, I guess, pillar outside of your existing database. So for us, early days, lead generation duties were, your generic cold calls, letterbox drops, and stuff like that. But if for the next 90 days, you can look at where your biggest weakness is in your business for lead generation and actually set some proper time aside, whether it be if your social media is lacking, and it doesn't have to be, professional content, but educational, a little bit of authenticity, whatever it might be in your business, action one lead pillar for lead generation.
Mm.
Um, the other thing I'd probably try and say, which I need to do as well, once a week, try and actually sit down and work out how we can use AI more efficiently, whether it be for refining marketing, client communication, decision making. I talk to ChatGTP like it's my therapist every day and my business coach. So I'm going into a recruitment meeting, my head's all over the place. I've come out of an appointment, I'm rushed. I think I said to you right before this, I've got about 4 minutes before my last meeting before this, and I hadn't read the questions. I'm talking to ChatGTP. I'm pumping the questions into there, going, just summarize me. You know what I talk and what I speak to you about every day about the business. So just give me some prompts for what I need to be talking to Luke about here, and what are my sort of strengths and weaknesses. And it's shot back some really, really good things, actually. Use AI weekly to try and refine and simplify, and or even just talk to it about what is something that I can improve in my business. If you happen to talk to AI
Mm.
daily, it will come back to you with some pretty daunting things.
Yeah, amazing. Good advice. Beck, what is one word that you would provide as a legacy to help others who want to build beyond financial success? I know you're young, but it's also, thinking about what is going on in the future.
One word for financial success. I think your energy, or energy specifically, is your dollar value. I think, like, if you come in with low energy, negativity, all those things that surround that, like, that will make or break your business,
Mm.
for sure. So I think if you can strip apart everything that's gone in a day, if you're going into whether it be real estate related, or what you do, and everything like that, if your energy is not there, you're set to fail. So energy, for sure, you need to always be that hype man. If that's the role in which you need to, especially a sales role, you've got to have the confidence behind you, for sure. I don't know if that's the
Yeah,
right
that's
answer.
awesome.
So
Yeah, that's awesome, Beck. I like the word energy. I think, it spurs us on to keep going, even when the things are hard, right? So that's a big thing. Thank you so much for joining us today and all those, pint-sized, massive ideas that you have shared with us that is going to help the listeners on AI, on business, and on energy. So thank you so much, and look forward to doing more deals with you in
Yeah,
future.
thank you. No, thanks for having me on board. Hopefully you got something out of it.
Excellent. Thanks, Beck.